TLC, Tender Love and Care. It's when old creatures get new abilities and Ark has 13 of them. So today I'll be ranking all of Ark's 13 TLCs based on their new models, their abilities, and how useful they are compared to their older selves. So starting off, at number 13, we have the Rex. Now, as much as I love the Rex, its TLC was very disappointing. Its new model and its new walking animation are both very cool, but it really only got one new ability, and that's its Roar ability, which is supposed to stun players and stun dinos. And for me personally, it's only been useful once when I stunned an Argentavis out of the sky. So yeah, unfortunately, I'm going to have to put the T-Rex at number 13. Coming in at number 12, we have the Gigantopithecus. I absolutely love the new remodel on it. I think before it looked too much like Bigfoot, so I love now that it looks like an actual like ape, like a monkey. So yeah, but in terms of new abilities, it didn't really get any. It got two. When one is they do extra damage to armor on players, so that's good for PvP. And now they have now they can hold shoulder mounts on their shoulder. I honestly don't really see how useful that would be, especially since I play PvE. So I'm gonna have to put the Gigantopithecus at number 12. Coming in at number 11, we have the Procoptodon or Kangaroo. And for me personally, since I played with boosted rates, I've never needed the Kangaroo or the Procoptodon. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to put him in 11th. They are really fun to use. They're really fast. They can jump super high, and they have a kick attack which knocks back enemy dinos or wild dinos really far back. But again, in terms of a TLC, it's not that good of one. So I'm going to have to put it at number 11. Coming in at number 10 out of 13, we have the Triceratops. I absolutely love the Triceratops. I love the new remodel on it. But its abilities are... Now, one is good. I say it has a new charging ability where it charges at enemy dinos, and if you hit the charge, it stuns them temporarily, which I think is really good. However, its second ability, which is its rivalry buff, it slightly increases their damage and resistance when they're around large carnivores like the T-Rex, the Spino, Gigas, and even Wyverns. But it's such a little buff that I can't really put it much higher than 10th. Coming in at number 9, we have the Direwolf. Now, the Direwolf is the only creature in the game where I think its model before its TLC and after its TLC are both amazing. So, yeah, I don't really know how to rank its model, but I put it at number 9 here. Plus, it got two new abilities, which are kind of useful. First, now they have an ability where they can sense when creatures are below 50% health, and it'll show you this by having like a large plus sign above the creature. Plus, now it can actually sense, it can now smell Explorer notes and smell creatures that are underground, like a Prolovia and Reaper, which is really good for PvE and PvP. Coming in at number 8, we have the Parasaur. Now, the Parasaur is the only creature to receive a TLC, but not receive a remodel design. But luckily, the two abilities that the Parasaur did get were both really useful. First, it has like a little Roar ability, which scares small carnivores like raptors and terrabirds away from you, which is really useful because the Parasaur, of course, is not that strong of a tame. And its second ability is that it can scan for danger. It scans for wild dinos, tame dinos, and even enemy players, and can even detect things underground like Prolovia and Reapers, making them really good for PvP and PvE. At number 8, we have the Dire Bear. Now, as much as I love the new model on the Dire Bear, its new ability isn't really that useful for me personally. Basically, they can gather honey from beehives without taking damage from the bees themselves or even luring them out, and they gather 3 times the amount of normal honey you would get. But for me personally, I've never needed to do that. I've never needed to get honey in Ark to beat the game. So yeah, but I do know other players like to get honey for recipes, for veggie cakes, I believe. So right now, I'm going to put the bear at number 8. Coming in at number 7, we have the Woolly Mammoth. I absolutely love the Woolly Mammoth. I think they're amazing creatures. I love the design of it now, finally. We finally have a creature that looks like a Woolly Mammoth in the game. Because the old one, I honestly think the old Woolly Mammoth's model was really bad. But I absolutely love the new one. And it did get 4 new abilities, but most of them aren't that useful. I would say the 2 most useful ones are its Roar, which decreases damage of enemy players and dinos by 50%, and its War Drums, which basically makes you immune to the Free Rover Yeti, which is kind of good on PvE, and I think that's more useful for PvP, but even in PvP, it's not really that useful. So yeah, I'll put the Mammoth here. Coming in at number 4, we have the Raptor. Now, I absolutely love the new Raptor model in Ark. It looks like the Raptor from Jurassic Park with feathers on them, which I absolutely love. Plus, it got 2 new abilities which are really useful. It's got a pack buff, which needs a minimum of 2 raptors, and has a maximum of 6 raptors. Plus, it has a new pounce ability, which is supposed to pounce creatures that are up to the size of a raptor or smaller, so players are included in that. But if you've ever played Aberration, you would know that the raptor can somehow pounce a Stegosaurus and even Sarcosuchus. So yeah, for that, I'll give it 5th place. Coming in at number 4, fourth, we have the Stegosaurus. Now they can switch between their plates, having a hardened, sharpened, and heavy plate mode, which are all really good for gathering different resources, whether that be wood, thatch, or berries. So yeah, plus they're really good for PvP now as they take 50% reduced damage, and you can't be picked off the back of a Stego while riding it. And they got a new secondary attack, which is like a Dagomizer, which you impale your tail into any creature, and it does a bleed damage while draining all the stamina away from a creature, making them immobilized. So yeah. Coming in at number 3, we have the Sarcosuchus. Now, before Sarcosuchus even got a TLC, I gotta say they were really useful. They were my main water mount in the game, or were definitely my first water mount in the game, and they were really strong for what they were, and they were really good. And their TLC just made them even better. Now they have a lunge attack, which does more damage than their bite. They have a death roll attack animation, which can take players off their mount, and you can grab small creatures with them. Plus, they can turn a 360 degree, which is really useful. And yeah, plus their new model is better than the old one, I would say, but by a large stance. So yeah. Coming in at number 2, we have the Spinosaurus. The Spinosaurus, and it was really good before its TLC, and its TLC just made it one of the best creatures in Ark. First of all, it looks amazing. The Spinosaurus really looks cool, it looks badass now. And yeah, now it gets, when in water, it's the hydration buff, which increases their strength, health, and resistance, and speed while in the water. Plus now they have a bipedal and quadrupedal stance. When in their bipedal stance, they can turn in a 360. And they have a new slapping attack, which basically does more damage than their bite, has more knockback, and is way faster. So yeah, for that reason, I'll put the Spinosaurus in number 2. Coming in at first place, or the top place, I have the Argentavis. I gotta say, the new model on the Argentavis is amazing. The old one kind of looked a bit derpy, kind of looked a bit silly. The new one made it look scary, made it look cool, made it look badass, and I'm all for it. I love it. It looks like a giant vulture. Plus, the new abilities are really good. Now their saddle works as a smithy. They reduce the weight of a ton of resources in their inventory, and they can pick up way larger creatures like the Ankylosaurus, the Dodic, and the Iguanodon, which is really good. And plus, their best ability is when they eat a corpse or a dead creature, they regain their health and stamina really quickly. So yeah. So that is my ranking of all of Ark's TLC creatures. Let me know if you disagree with me. Let me know if I put things too low, if I put things too high. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Have a good day, and bye-bye.